Welcome back, everybody, to the Unfunniest Podcast, UFP Media officially, and we are now on episode 24. Before we start, Mike and I had a crazy late night that we were out until 10 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night, 10 p.m. It's odd for us, but we want to say happy birthday to one of our past episode guests, Mr. Bob Patterson, turning 51 years old. Had a surprise
Bob
party for
Patterson.
him last night, and his wife Kelly, everybody was there. Wanted to say hi to everybody and happy birthday, Bobby. And here's to many more. Glad you're feeling better and you're still out there kicking and moving around.
Happy birthday, Robert.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. That was a great surprise. Bobby was not able to celebrate his 50th because he wasn't feeling good. Honestly, I think a lot of us a year ago were pretty concerned about him, clearly. Mm-hmm. And he walked in last night, similar to what we told him on the podcast, what it was about 3 or 4 episodes, about how good he looked and how much more energy he had. He walked into that thing last night, man. He just looked vibrant. He looked alive. He looked energetic. He's getting his form, his physique back. Mm-hmm. He had endless energy last night, and I'm sure him being in as a surprise like that, and you walk in and you get all of the love and emotion, support, everything else that goes along with it. But yeah, he was, like we said, he was now able to have his 50th birthday party, so we did his 51st last night, and boy, what a turnout. Holy cow. I walked in that place. Well, originally the surprise was supposed to be at 6:30. I don't think he got there closer to 7. They were out to dinner, I think, with his neighbors, and by the time Becky and I got there, Poppies were there, Bajuses were there, all the Patterson family was there. Coach Noose, for crying out loud, which was really cool. Got to talk to him for a while. Shout out to Coach
Noose, one of the listeners of the UFP.
Right. Coach Noose. It was amazing how many people were there in support of him. But yeah, I mean, just to see the look on his face when he walked in there and the emotion. And then his speech, in typical Bob Patterson form, the man should be a motivational speaker. He should be traveling the country and speaking at colleges and everywhere else that needs pep talks, because, Bobby, that was something for the record books, dude. That was pretty awesome how you stood in front of everybody and did the same thing you did back at that basketball game at Mooney when you stood in front of the crowd, took the microphone and thanked everybody for their support. And a very emotional, uprising, just awesome speech that you gave last night. So
is there a video of that?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it should. McAndrews put a bunch of stuff on Facebook. The Pattersons put a bunch of stuff on Facebook, so the pictures are out there. It was basically a Cardinal Mooney reunion, which is pretty neat. Yeah. Heck, Lamont was there. Like I said, Coach Noose was there. I mean, it was really cool to see everybody in one spot supporting Buck. And yeah, happy birthday, Bob. Miller was late as usual. He got lost. He went to, I believe he was in Traverse City.
Formal protest. Why does Johnny Blackhouse or whatever this place is, why do they have 75 locations in this in the city of Lake Orion?
Yeah.
So I type in the first one. I'm thinking there can't be that many in Lake Orion, and I went there, and I'm blaming.
I text Miller at, I don't know, what is it, 6:35. I'm like, hey, he's not here yet, so if you're close, hold back. Yeah, we're about a half hour out. That was 6:35. At 7:10, I'm like, talking to other people, like, where's Miller? I go, I don't have a clue. Half hour later, here comes Miller. I ended up somewhere north in Lapeer. Like, Lapeer?
I was in Lake Orion. I was in the same city.
Is there that many Johnny Blacks?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's one.
Listen, I will. In your defense, I believe that who else got lost that you said that you talked
to?
Lamont did, and then again in your defense, Joe Beats showed up, and he's like, "What?" He did the same thing. He walks in, he goes, I went to some other Johnny Black someplace. I go, I had no idea. So thank God, McAndrews, when he sent that text out last week, he gave this specific location. So you mean to tell me there's another Johnny Black's on Baldwin?
Okay, I'm showing up here right now. There is on Sterling Heights, there's one in Moravian. There's one Jefferson Lake House East in St. Clair Shores, one in Rochester, one in Shelby, one in Waterford, one in Auburn Hills. And then there was one in Lake Orion on Baldwin, and then there was one in the Lake Orion downtown. So we all went to the one Lake Orion downtown.
Oh, wow. Well, that would be another 15-minute drive. So I guess in somewhat of your defense,
How was it?
It was fun.
It was good. It was cool.
The one in downtown Lake
Oh,
Orion.
downtown Lake
How was
Orion.
it?
Yeah, would you walk in
So-
and you're like, no, didn't see anybody?
No, so completely different. We walk in. That one is like an old time diner. It's all white. It's all bright as opposed to when we were that. We walk in and we're looking like, okay, not recognize anybody. They must have a back room or a basement or something because we all told there's a party room. So we walk in, Kathy, myself, and Charlotte. Charlotte was
Nobody
with
puts
us.
Miller in the basement.
Yeah, and so I'm like, so did you guys have like a party room here? Because we're supposed to be meeting. Is it supposed to be a surprise party? She's like, no, we don't. I'm like, this is Johnny Black. She goes, oh, you must be the one in the other Lake Orion location out Baldwin. I'm like,
Yeah.
and at that point,
we're in the wrong place.
and at that point,
They're
Kathy and Charlotte are both as hangry as can be. They're about to strangle me both. They're like both
No, I can
starving,
relate.
and they're like, yeah. They're like, where are we at? Why is this? Where? And so finally, I'm on my way over there, and I'm like trying to apologize. And yeah, but we got there once again. Thank you to Bobby and to the Pattersons, to Kelly especially, and everybody there. We want to thank everybody, and Bobby again. Happy birthday! We appreciate it, and
Yes,
here's
thank you
to-
guys. That was,
yeah, here's to
that was
many, many,
quite
many
the-
more.
Yeah, right. And that's funny.
There's-
'Cause-
yeah.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, he said that too. He said that in his speech too. He goes, "We're at 51. Now we're going to 52. It's one day at a time. It's one step at a time. You inspired the living daylights out of me, Buck. I'll tell you that much."
I don't want to hit 85 or 90 though.
Listen,
I'm done
we
after
were-
about 80.
We were joking around with Coach Noose. Like, listen, we can go outside right now and start running plays if you want. Coach is like, oh, calm down, Ward.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, dude, it was funny, Jimmy, because he goes, "Who's the third guy on your podcast?" Because he's been watching us. I go, "That's my baby brother Jim." I go, "When I first met you and when I first started playing for you, it was in 1989." So I said Jimmy was a whopping 3 years old. You know, the other thing I told him too is I said, "Listen, I keep saying listen tonight." I said I wasn't going to play football freshman year. I came in, chose Carter Mooney, and I was going to take a year off. And to his credit, he somehow got my phone number at home. So he called. Yeah, exactly. That number. So he calls, and I remember him. He was he's still kind of energetic, but he's talking to me on the phone. I'm like, well, I guess I got to go try out for football, man. I can't tell this guy no. He's going to come to my house and rip my head off and bring me right to the football field.
That's pretty cool.
So the other
Nowadays
thing I
they
told
call
him
that a stalker.
Huh? Yeah, right.
Now they call that a stalker, yeah, but different.
So I remember vividly in my head pulling up in the station wagon to the back parking lot of Cardinal Mooney, and they were redoing the roof, and it smelled, just this overwhelming smell of tar.
Do you still, whenever to this day, if I smell that, I'm immediately back in July and August of '89.
I told Coach that last night. I go, to this day, if I smell tar, I think of freshman year football going or Crocker and Remold, which is crazy, but whatever. It is funny how you associate smell, sight, touch, feel, song, music especially, right? You always think about music and, okay, well, this song is reminding me of exactly where I was X amount of time. But yeah, it was really cool to see Coach there last night. And we did. We talked about radio for 3 here or radio for 4, but nonetheless, we talked about if we would not have moved from that location, we would have been a powerhouse and then some. Because he would have stayed, we would have kept a lot of those core kids that were sophomores in front of us, and we would have been an absolute powerhouse. You know what I didn't realize is Father Ray. He told us this last night. Mark, maybe you know this, but Father Ray Vanderveer, who was our principal, had a check in hand and went to the Lance Cruz School District and was ready to buy that property in that building. And
I had
Lance
no idea.
Cruz, So
Really?
Lance Cruz originally agreed to sell the property to the Archdiocese and the building, obviously, to the Archdiocese and Cardinal Mooney. Father Ray went to the meeting to hand them the check to buy that property, and they said, "Yeah, we changed our mind. We want it back. We're not renewing the lease. We're not going to sell it to you because we're going to have it for the middle school." So also what we found out was at that point, the Archdiocese said, "Okay, beep it. We're shutting down Cardinal Mooney."
It's getting
And
all night.
I know. Father Ray, to his credit, said, "Over my dead body, we are going to find a home." This is a family. Granted, we were 190 students total at that point, right, Mark? Probably.
We had 54 in our graduating class, wasn't
54, 53 or 54, whatever it was. And Father Ray, again, to his credit, said, "Nope, we're going to find a home. This is too close of a tight knit of a family." And sure enough, we ended up in Marine City. half the kids from Harrison Township and Clinton Township rode the bus from 16 Mile and Crocker right off of 94. You met at them. I mean, holy cow.
The McDonald's.
Yeah, the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you almost can't write a script this way. You meet at McDonald's, you get on the bus, you ride the bus from 16 Mile to 23 Mile, get off, the bus gets off at the McDonald's at 23 and 94, picks up the rest of us yahoos, go up 26 Mile.
I can't tell you how many times I picked you guys up and I didn't have my driver's license.
Jeez. Yeah, the old station wagon. So,
Yep.
Yeah, that's a little bit of revisionist history there with the Cordamuni past and the way it came about and how all of us became so close even to this day. It is amazing.
Yeah.
You take a small school like that and take an event last night and you walk into a room and you feel like you're at home because every single one of those people hug you, have fun with you, whatever it might be. And it's pretty awesome to see.
And
see how you look at that. The Pattersons, the McAndrews, all you guys brought us all back together again. It was pretty cool. So thank you once again from the bottom of our hearts.
One other shout out I want to do, and Jimmy worked with these guys on this. I want to give a shout out to EA Graphics. You're all seeing the UFP official merchandise now. We are now, I guess we're official now. We got a logo and we got clothes. But EA Graphics on Van Dyke in Sterling Heights, they worked on us with the pullovers, and we're looking at doing some more things, some T-shirts, some other stuff for some merchandise. So we'll let you guys know when.
No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for asking.
Pullover. No, thanks. But love it. It's great to see. It's great to see when officially come through. And Jimmy, thank you for taking care of all that.
Yeah,
there you go, Jim.
They did great. As for Kevin, he did awesome. So
awesome.
Believe that they are also associated with the CHSL in a different facet, but a little bit of a shout out.
It's a big facility.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, it's like an old Chevy auto plant or whatever. Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or dealership. Yeah.
The official apparel supporter of the Catholic High School League.
Yes. And the UFP podcast.
And the UFP. Media. Yes.
As great as this has been, as great as all the things we talked about, we have to talk about the opposite last week with the Lions in Kansas City last Sunday night.
Let me just have a disclaimer here for a moment and apologize to all of our fans. This was my fault that we were not on last week. My quote-unquote real job took over. I was definitely preoccupied with many things at work. We got a lot of stuff coming up at work right now. So
DYW.
Jim were, Yeah, exactly. So my apologies. This was my fault for us not being able to broadcast last week, do a recap of the Lions game. Miller, for the love of God, actually texted us and said, "Hey, how about after the game tonight we broadcast?" I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to be able to stay up for the whole stinking game, let alone do an hour and a half broadcast afterwards. But nonetheless,
I'm kind of glad. I was a little frustrated, and you know, it wasn't a normal team that they were facing. They were facing a Kansas City Chiefs team, a true champions who are backs are against a wall. And when you have the Chiefs and the NFL against you, there's only so much you can do with everything there. And I'm being a little facetious when I say that, but obviously you could definitely tell that the NFL, called in, and now the NFL is trying to backpedal and get out of the whole touchdown or not a touchdown when it wasn't clearly reviewable. And it's hard to do because obviously the rule is you want to get the plays right. The actual rule, they broke the rule. He should have came to complete stop. It should have been a penalty, but that's the times you just can't stand instant replay and you just want something different.
No.
Okay. So hold on a minute though. Go ahead. I'm going to let Jim go with this one.
First of all, yeah, it's a good thing we didn't go on last week because I was still fired up. Even Miller and I talked on Thursday morning. They went to the refs and said, as long as he doesn't put his hands under the center, it's a proper play.
Legal.
Period. 75 seconds. Is that what it was?
75.
Ridiculous.
That's a minute and a half. It went to commercial. New York came in. Bunch of. See, that's why I got these. So we can
amateur hour.
Can curse all you want.
All right. Now I get fired up again. But anyways, I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, here we go. 17 missed called penalties. Not one called.
I thought they had called penalties, but not accepted.
Not a single penalty, marking a rare and significant event in the NFL. This achievement is particularly notable because the team also had 0 turnovers and no more than 1 punt, making it one of the cleanest games in modern NFL history. Wow, would you look at that? Isn't that amazing? Just not a single penalty. Yeah, the Chiefs completed the game against the Lions with 0 accepted penalties, a feat that is extremely rare. In 363 games played since the start of the 2024 season, the Chiefs were the only team to have an entire game without a single penalty. Now, think about all this. The Chiefs also became the first team since 1972 to have 0 accepted penalties, 0 turnovers, and no more than 1 punt. The fan reaction, the lack of penalties sparked outrage and conspiracy theories amongst the fans who felt the game was being unfairly influenced, blah, blah, blah. The controversy was amplified by a disputed Lions touchdown that was officially called back due to an illegal motion penalty, which, of course, some fans alleging inconsistent officiating. But yes, to Jim's point, 75 seconds, New York has to flag in or call in. And so there was not a lot of clarification this past week, but it certainly sounded to your guys' point that Dan Campbell, Jared Goff went to the refs before the game and said, this is what we're going to do. Sounds like they were told, okay, sounds good. Don't go ahead, Mark.
Okay, this is where I want to stop because and for anybody, I mean, between playing, not that I'm a toot horn or anything, between playing and coaching, I spent 16 years in the sport. Every game, especially when coaching.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Shut up. And that's for that guy last week that said we bought our microphones on Amazon and any Yahoo listens to us. Well, thank you, username 4432.
Oh, hold on.
We are any
hold on.
But
hold on. Go ahead. I'll adjust that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But what I mean by that is before the game, for anyone that's not aware when it comes to any level of football, whether it be Pee-wee, whether it be high school, whether it be college or be NFL, the referees come in and talk with the coaches and say, what trick plays do you have? What unique plays do you have? You go over them and you say, this is what could be run. And you could have 25, 30 different ones. Every game you go over and say, this is what's in the plays. This is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to run it. It's going to be a different formation. Make sure it's fully legal. Make sure everything's good there. And for one reason or another, and the Lions did say they went over it with the referees. The question was, and it could have been something as simple as Goff was supposed to, whatever, but for anybody that doesn't know, yes, the referees know those plays could come up, so they're not going to get tripped up or change whenever they see. So Mike, go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, it amazes me. I mean, so this is the thing, and I talked about this on our last episode. These penalties, these flags. If anyone watched the end of the Cardinals-Packers game today, I am not exaggerating when I tell you every other play, and I counted 6 plays in a row. The Packers went down and scored what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown. 6 penalties in a row. Every other play is a penalty. What in the world is going on? I understand. They want to make sure the game is being played the right way. You can call a holding penalty on every single play in an NFL game. Holy mackerel. To the point now where, again, this is what we talk about. This is being talked about everywhere now. Something happens good for your team, something bad happens, whatever it might be. You can't even have a reaction anymore until you stare at the screen, and it's like this long pause, the longest pause you could possibly.
Is that going to be good?
Is it going to be good? Is it going to be a penalty? Is it going to be a penalty? Is it going to be a flag? Is that stupid yellow box going to come up? And then it doesn't come up, or it comes up, and then it goes, geez, guess what? The referee decided that he wanted to throw a flag on that play. It's ruining the game. I'm sorry, it's ruining the game. When I'm watching a Major League Baseball game and the yellow box for the miles per hour for the pitcher comes up, and I think that there's a penalty flag being thrown, there is a problem. I'm sorry. There's a problem when I'm watching baseball and I see a yellow thing on the screen and I go, oh no, a flag. Wait, it's baseball. Never mind. Mercy.
So I put the ref shirt on because... All right, who's our favorite referee that we know?
She goes. Matt She goes.
Yes. Miller and I all at the same time. That was pretty good.
Matt She goes. CCHA.
Yeah.
I was thinking something.
Ed Hockley.
Different. Jesus.
Ed Hockley.
Jim McAndrews. Come on.
Jim McAndrews. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So shout out to Jimmy, and it wouldn't be the same without a white towel here.
The props are out, man. This is great. Jim with the referee and the white towel.
Jim, if you're listening, shout out to you, and go ref the NFL, please.
It might take a little bit of training, but nonetheless.
Yeah. No, you'll be good. All right.
That's too much.
Listen, back to the game. Yeah. Mark, to your point, I think you had a championship caliber team in the Chiefs. You have obviously a multi-time MVP quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, a very well-coached team with a tremendous amount of talent that clearly started out the gate very slow. At home on a Sunday night when it was everybody against the world versus the Lions, basically. That game, if the Lions would have won that game, it would have been a miracle. So the deck was stacked against them. You could tell when Amon-Ra St. Brown dropped that fourth down play, you could almost feel the life come out of that team. I do believe, I really do, if he completes that fourth down play, they probably go down, they probably get a touchdown, and that's probably a different ball game.
That never happens to him.
It's pretty rare.
Happens.
But again, I mean, listen, these people that thought the Lions were going to go 15-2 or 14-3, it's not going to happen. That's just not. I'm of the firm belief, you call me stupid, and I probably am. I'm of the firm belief that losses like that makes teams stronger. And I do believe that Dan Campbell will use it as a motivation, get them back on track. Not that they were necessarily off track, but you are on the road, hostile environment. Arrowhead is a heck of a tough place to play. It's even tougher when you got the referees against you. I know, whatever. But that game was it was not in the cards, and I'm looking forward to them bouncing back. And I think tomorrow night's going to be a great game. But we'll talk about that.
It's huge.
Yeah.
To that point too, Mike, I agree. It's, you talk about championship teams bounce back. No one's going to go undefeated. Right. I think we all have this impression in football in general that you think about like college football. God forbid, outside of a couple of years ago, your team lost, you're done. Your season was over. Correct. What are you going to play for? Maybe some bowl game, and that's about it. And now, and you keep forgetting that you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have different things there. But yeah, you're right. And I think to the effect that, you talk about teams bouncing back as bad as Kansas City to how they bounce back. But I'm shocked, at the line for this week that the Lions are still 5.5 point favorites over the Bucks. And
they continue to be.
That shocks me.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that shocks me.
Well, I think that Monday night. Now, just here's the inverse of last week's Sunday night game. Everything I just described, meaning the Lions fans, are now the Chiefs, and the Bucs are now the Lions. Mm-hmm. You are going into a very hostile environment. That place will be amped up to all amp-ups. It's Monday night. Huh?
Dark.
Yeah. It's Monday night, Ford Field. The lights are on, but at the same time, I think that Baker Mayfield so far is, in my opinion, again, I'm just a dummy on a podcast. My opinion, Baker Mayfield right now is the leading candidate for MVP.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
I agree.
So, yeah, he's throwing to no one except for what's his face?
The Ohio State receiver.
Oh.
Once again, my memory goes out of my head. But anyways, he's throwing to nobody except for not Jackson Smith and Jigma.
You're going to fall out of your chair there.
I almost did. But they are banged up. But to their credit, similar to what the Lions did last year, they just keep winning. I mean, granted, they're pulling out all these last minute comeback wins. Last week was the first time I think that they had not had to pull out a touchdown or a field goal in the last minute. So it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see if Ford Field really shows up.
They will.
Egbuka, you're talking about the wide receiver?
Yes. Egbuka. Jeez, oh, Pete. I should really start taking more notes.
Yeah,
but what?
Nothing. Our brains are falling apart.
Yeah.
Pets' heads are falling off.
Our pets' heads are falling off. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game tomorrow. I'm thankful that it starts at 7 and not 8. That gives me an additional time to kind of
that game starts at 7 tomorrow.
Starts at 7 tomorrow because there's a 10:30 game afterwards.
Oh,
that West Coast game.
They're doing the double headers. Here we go.
I don't understand that, but it's whatever. But at least it's the only game on. I think I don't know who's even doing I don't know who's going to be. Is it Aikman or who's doing the announcing for the game?
Well, let's find out.
Let's see here.
We're the only ones that care about announcers and PA announcers in this league and this and all your podcast stuff. But at least it's good. You're going to have the undivided attention of the country. You're going to have it there. I think you're going to see a great game. And I'm hoping the Lions get back on track. We're hoping there, because the good thing is as many injuries as they have in the secondary, the Bucs have as many injuries in their wide receiving core. So I think you're going to see some differences there.
I have to share my screen for a moment because I want to address something that I believe I went off on in one of my rants about celebrations and everything else. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. So, in typical form, this is
good as gold.
Yeah, that's a great celebration.
Child's being born. It's a great celebration.
Hair experience.
In 5 more seconds, you'll have it.
And happy begins at ZarminAli.com. Shaping healthier futures.
Shaping healthier.
Amari DiMercado of the Cardinals had a walk-in 76-yard touchdown, but somehow, some way, a week after A.D. Mitchell of the Colts did it, he's going to drop the ball before the goal line, and it's going to bounce out of the end of the end zone.
Fumbling at the goal line, running free.
Ball, and I have no idea either how we keep.
Dude,
okay, so
I'm gonna go with you. Take it home. You'll get fined. Who cares?
Okay, we are just the dumb, unfunniest podcast. UFP. We mean nothing. We don't have much reach. But if we do, can we just have a little shout out to all the youth out there playing sports? Shut up and act like you have played the game prior. Seriously. This is another instance of look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm going to showboat into the end zone. You drop the ball before the end zone, before the goal line. Are you kidding me? Take the ball into the end zone and hand it to the referee, for crying out loud. This showboat crap is out of control. Every time they get up and make a first down, I'm going to get up and first down.
I can't stand it. You're seeing that in high school nowadays.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. Yeah, you're seeing it in high school. You're seeing it. Jimmy, Lexi's championship basketball game. 10-year-old girls are doing hand signals and like, what is going on? What the parents? I would be grabbing my children from their ears.
But Mike, here's this: the parents are the ones cheering it. The parents are the ones doing it.
Here's part of the problem. You brought that video up. It all stems down. It goes from professional players,
what it does, all the way
to
down.
Parents to
right.
Kids.
Yeah.
Look at Mahomes. Miller, I think you brought this up to Branch. He spins the ball in front of him and showcases them 4 times in a row.
Yeah, we didn't get on that. We didn't even talk about that yet.
Well, you didn't talk about that.
To I guess berate my point once again. I'm not old man yelling at clouds. Okay, I get excited. I get pumped up. I cheer. I get excited for my teams, whatever it might be. And when I was playing, I get excited too. But there's a fine line between celebration, legitimate emotional celebration, and this absolute ridiculous taunting, flaunting. Like, again, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm the center of the universe, and I'm gonna get on TV, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make signal. No, shut up. Act like you've been there before. Be a professional. Be somebody that you can actually set an example to the younger players, because this is exactly what's happening. Now all these kids, like I said, 10-year-old girls, where are we? What are we doing? Yep. Shut up. You're just an old man. You have no idea what you're talking about. Well, whatever.
You know, somebody, Jason Kelsey was on the podcast last week with him and Travis.
On our podcast? Well,
no, we're trying to, I mean, they're okay. They're not an unfunniest spot. They're not a UFB, but one of the things he was talking about was what the coaches preached in Philly, which ironically one of the Phillies wide receivers did a few years ago. But the saying was run to the letters.
Run to the letters, because the letters are, if you hit the letters, then you can celebrate in the end zone. Because at that point, you're past the line and you're good when it comes to that. And I think that's great because, whatever celebrate you want to. I used to be the fuddy-duddy. I used to be the person that wanted no celebrations. Let's do whatever. But, whatever. You celebrate, you do whatever you want to do. But run to the letters. Celebrations are fine. I mean, you know who I admire some of the most? Barry Sanders. What did Barry do when he scored a touchdown? And maybe that's the polar opposite, right? And I'm not saying don't celebrate, but man, this every single time celebrating, and you get an interception, and the entire defensive backfield has to run to the opposite end zone.
Oh, I can't.
Whatever. Come on, act like you've been there. That's going to be my new phrase of the year. Act like you've been there.
Somebody asked Barry.
Branch? Huh?
Somebody asked Barry why he never celebrated when he got to the end zone, and he said because he was out of breath and he wanted to get to the sidelines and sit down.
Yeah, and he knew he was going to do it again and again and again and again.
Listen, you guys remember me obviously emulating a lot of things about Bernie Kosar right? Because he was my idol. There was the one thing, because I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here. The one thing that Bernie never used to do is he very, 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 very rarely did he ever celebrate. Like, he would pump his fist a little bit, and every once in a while, I remember the game against the Steelers in overtime. He threw a fade pattern to Webster Slaughter to end the game. That was the most emotion you've ever seen out of Bernie Kosar. He started jumping around. They put him up. But me, I couldn't hold myself. Like, when we would score a touchdown, I'd go crazy. But it was pure raw emotion celebration. It wasn't this, hey, look at me. Look what I just did. I just ran for 50 yards. Me. Yeah. You guys got me off, and I don't even have to do a rant tonight. I've ranted 5 times already.
Yeah. So, Mike, you want to talk about the branch thing? Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm taking
go ahead
on this. So I texted you guys about that, and I'm like, you know what? What the hell, branch? I still said it. Anyways, so I watched Miller. You and I had a conversation.
Yeah.
I watched the whole game Monday again. Watched the clips. Man, he got bullied. Juju, that block in the back. Holmes taunting him in the end zone 4 times. Threw the ball at him, spun it, pointed at him, hustled him. Listen, we've all been there, done that. We've all lost our cool. He beat him up pretty good. I hate to say it, but he deserved it.
Well,
but
I think,
as Campbell said, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. There's two things about that. We all know Branch wasn't quiet the game. Branch probably was talking beep all game when it came to everything he was doing. So I think a lot, not necessarily the Juju Smith thing, but I think that as much as everybody, whatever, Mahomes to me is a class in the NFL, and the guy's always been class. He hasn't done anything trashy. If you're getting trash talked the entire game by the defensive backs, the Lions, you're probably gonna take some stuff out when it comes there. So I'm okay with whatever he did. But I think also the second thought about that is Juju Smith. He needs to either go into soccer or into the WWE next, because he wasn't slapped. He was hit on the side of the helmet, and he took a flop when he had that happen to him. So once again, not condoning what he did, not doing anything else, but yeah, it was clearly Juju Smith just took a dive when he got hit touch there when it came to that.
Yeah, well, he hurt his nose when his helmet got ripped off, because he went after Branch, and Branch just destroyed him.
And it was all the team against Branch. It was like, it was weird to see all that red around that one blue guy there. Yeah.
Yep. So if I'm Dan Campbell, in public to what he said, I think he handled it properly. He said, love him to death. However, it's unacceptable. In the locker room, after he watches the film, I'm sure Dan Campbell probably fist bumped him and said, listen, you can't take it to that level. You got to handle yourself a little bit differently. But I love the raw emotion. I love the passion, and I love you sticking up for yourself. I love you sticking up for your team. I like that you were ticked off that we lost. I like that you were pissed off that you had some egregious penalties that weren't called. They weren't calling both ways. So in terms of what I talked about earlier, right? A loss like that, it's a reset. And I'm sure that Dan Campbell is using it as a reset. And he's probably using the Branch situation as an example of, okay, boys, we got beat up a little bit, but we are not, just like in his initial speech that he talked about, right? We're going to get hit at the knees. We're going to go down, or we're going to get knocked down. We're going to get back up. We're going to take a chunk off your knee. We're going to get knocked down again. We're going to take another chunk off your knee. So he's sticking to his guns. He's sticking to what his philosophy is as the coach of the Detroit Lions. Yeah. You will see them come out, and you will see them very emotional. You will see them very physical tomorrow night, because I do believe Dan Campbell probably used this whole Branch thing as a motivation thing of, look at your teammate. Yeah, did he go a little far with the slap in the face? You can't do it. He deserved to be fined. He deserved to be suspended for this game. But let's pick him up and let's go take it to the Bucs. Listen, again, who am I? But I'm firmly in the belief that that's exactly the line that they're using right now to prepare for the Bucs. So bottom line, can't slap a guy in the face at the same time. Way to stick up for your team, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
well said.
I think that puts a bow on the Lions' efforts and everything last week and what we've got from those. Talk a little bit about games this weekend. I know you guys had a chance to do a little bit more watching probably than what I have, but Mike, congratulations to your Browns, 31-6. And how does Mike McDaniel? 31-6, according to ESPN.
I thought, I'm sorry. You're right. It's 31.
How does Mike McDaniel get? How the F does Mike McDaniel get on that plane? They obviously weren't ready to play.
No, I mean, Okay, so the Browns are not the Chiefs by any stretch of the imagination. Dylan Gabriel is not.
They look like it.
No, I know, but I'm saying. So what I was saying here is a lot of things I think came into play with this game today. So you had Joe Flacco on Thursday night go out and play the game of his life, essentially, which makes the Browns look terrible. And I think it should make the Browns look terrible. There's clearly some things going on in the background that the Browns are trying to do to strengthen the future. To trade Joe Flacco to the Bengals, to your in-state rival, to your division rival, to me is asinine. It also shows you, with Flacco struggling through the first 5 games of the season, and then he goes to Cincinnati and throws for over 350 yards. Does it kind of tell you there might be a system problem, at least on the offensive side of things for the Browns? Maybe. A little bit of fool's gold today, too. I mean, yeah, they won 31-6, but they were playing the hapless Dolphins. And your buddy Mike McDaniel, who I agree probably will not survive tomorrow.
Yep.
Hey, a win's a win, but there's so many things going wrong with the Browns and this whole Flacco thing. So where I was going with that was a lot of background stuff. I do think Stefanski used a lot of that as motivation, and I think they were at home, backs against the wall, a 1-4 team or a 1-5 team, whatever the heck they were. And listen, they're all fighting for their jobs at this point. Again, there's a lot of building for the future. They have a lot of draft picks coming up. They have a very bright future. The problem is the long history of losing is getting to the Browns fans. I hear it. I have a lot of Browns fans. I talk to a lot of Browns fans. It's the frustration level. You can hear it in the sports talk radio, in every facet of their sports talk radio in Cleveland. They're all tired of it. The patience is gone. It's just gone. So we can talk about the future. We can talk about how they're young. We can talk about all the draft picks that are coming up. But people want to win now. And then you have the announcement come out this past week that the Haslams officially have got the go-ahead to break ground in the new stadium, blah, 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 whatever.
By the airport, right?
By the airport in Brook Park. They're paying the city of Cleveland $100 million in total to get out of Cleveland, to get away from the lakefront. They are also paying to take down the existing stadium that was built in 1999. So by stadium standards, the thing is barely old.
Years old.
Yeah, that's it. I've never been a fan of that stadium. I think it's a cookie cutter stadium. It has no character to it whatsoever. I've never liked it. It doesn't represent the Browns to me. I know. Here I go again. I'm back in the old days with the old stadium, but I've never liked it. So whatever. If they're going to Brook Park, they're going to Brook Park. I do think a little bit of settling on the glass ceiling, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a glass ceiling. So you are going to see sunlight at Cleveland Browns games.
So it's going to be like Minnesota, right?
Like Minnesota.
Yeah, US Bank Field.
It's glass.
Yeah, so that was actually pretty cool today. I don't know if you guys watched the Vikings game, but the sun was out. It was pretty neat. I mean, you could see it on the field. It looked like an outdoor game. So that's going to be similar to what Huntington Stadium Field, whatever that's going to be called, in Brook Park / Cleveland. And the city is now free to, once the old new stadium is demolished, they're going to develop that into multi-use parks and recs, hopefully a marina with a break wall to attract lots of tourists in the boating community. So,
are you being serious about that? Or are you just...
No, I am serious. No, I think it's going to be cool. I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's down there. I do think if the stadium's gone and they do develop that lakefront properly, because it is gorgeous. I mean, if you can put a bunch of tourist attraction venues down there, you will attract people. And I was being serious.
That stadium, NFL stadium, is used, let's just say conservatively, 25 times a year maximum. When you include some concerts, you include monster trucks, you include everything, all the other junk that they have in some of that stuff.
Right.
But when it's not a dome, you're talking 26 times, maybe 30 times. That's all you're getting, versus if you put restaurants, you put some attractions, you put a concert area there, or whatever, something, let's just say an amphitheater or something else kind of there.
Yeah, right. Yep.
The revenue you're going to get from that waterfront is going to be exponentially higher than what it would have been for the Browns.
Correct.
Yeah.
And conversely to that, the new stadium, being a dome, will attract Final Fours. It'll attract far more concerts in the wintertime. Very similar to what Ford Field does.
Everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So at the end of the day, the old grumpy man in me started kicking and screaming, no, God forbid you take the Browns away from the lakefront. They've been there for literally however many years, almost 100 years now, when the old stadium was built there. But I do think for the region. I use the word region because that's exactly what it's going to be, because it's not going to be downtown Cleveland. It's in the region. Brook Park is a suburb. But for the region and the financial gain that will come from having that multi-purpose stadium venue will be very good. And I do think that the city will develop the downtown area, or the lakefront area, and it'll be good for all parties involved. So I've moved past
I can't believe I'm hearing this from you, Mike.
I know.
Hey, God invented domes for a reason.
Listen, I've clearly taken my mature meds, and I've tried to be a better person because of it. So there you go.
No,
Jimmy, what were you saying?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it'll be good. I mean, like you said, Mike, with Ford Field, football's meant to be played outside, but when you get into a confined dome on a 0-degree day, I mean,
glass.
That's
top
what fans.
The glass.
That's cool.
Ceiling is what probably has converted me, because
I would agree with that. I wish they would redo the glass on Ford Field on the sides. It's like faded yellow.
Well, and it's just it's not big enough. Yeah.
Well, it's not big enough. Yeah. Like I said, watching that Minnesota game, I'll tell you again, just really quick. Watching that Minnesota game today, knowing that was a enclosed stadium structure, and seeing the sun like it was an outside game was neat. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's maybe where my positivity is coming from right now.
Couple stats from the Browns and Dolphins game that kind of stick out. Penalties. There were 140 yards in penalties between the two teams. Miami 103 yards and Cleveland 37 yards. Dolphins had 4 turnovers, 3 picks, 1 fumble lost, and Browns had 1 defensive special teams touchdown. Your boy Dylan Gabriel wasn't anything spectacular, but he held on to the ball. He was 13 for 18, 116 yards, and sacked twice. Quarterback rating of 23.5 will roll up to 24, rounded up. And Quinshawn Judkins, 84 yards on 25 carries, 3 touchdowns. So that was a huge piece for them.
Yeah, he had a big game. That's pretty good for him.
Sack-wise, let's see here. Myles Garrett, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss.
Yeah, I was going to say he had a sack. Well, the defense, clearly, as usual, with the Browns, because they do have one of the best defenses in the NFL, held the Finns to a whopping 2 field goals. So that was certainly impressive. Again, I not to be a pessimist, I think it is a little bit of fool's gold. The Dolphins are reeling. If you are at home and you don't put the throttle down on those guys today, I think the calls for Stefanski's job.
Yeah, absolutely.
If this is a 13-6 game or a 10-6 game, the pressure is not off of Kevin Stefanski. They took care of business. They did what they needed to do. Like you said, I think, with Dylan Gabriel, nothing flashy, but hey, it's a win, 31-6. So we'll take it.
Miami put the ball on the ground 6 times. They fumbled 6 times, but only lost 1 of those fumbles. 3 Tua Tagovailoa fumbles, let alone his 3 picks. He was 12 for 23, 100 yards, 3 picks, sacked twice, although his QB rating of 0.4, that may be one of the lowest of all time.
Yeah, that could be. What a beautiful rating that is. Jeez, oh Pete.
4.
Yeah.
In the leading wide receiver, proud of my Western Michigan wide receiver, Dwayne Eskridge, leading wide receiver for Miami with 54 yards. It sounded like pathetic. And even on the Brown side, it wasn't anything spectacular there. Some of the other games, I'm shocked the Rams totally blew out the Jaguars 35-7.
Yeah, that was
Jimmy, your boy, had a great game.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Did you see that throw he had from the 5-yard line?
Did you guys see my text? Dude, his arm strength is incredible. I mean, he's throwing with not feet on the air.
If only I could have watched that video you sent of Jason Garrett and how Aaron Rodgers and some of these other quarterbacks and the way they release the ball different, like the open hip and then the upper torso follows. If I would have known that back then, I sound like Uncle Rico. If only would have.
You always had a strong arm, but dude, if you would have known that whatever you want to call it formula.
It's amazing because again, there was really no quarterback whisperer back in the day. John Reardon, who used to play up in, I believe he played for St. Clair. He was ineligible to play. I think that was our sophomore year. He was actually pretty good. He was almost like a player coach. He couldn't play, but he was on the sideline with us. But if I would have been taught all of this footwork and the mechanics of things and more of that, again, I sound like Uncle Rico. But I thought that was pretty cool. That video, that's why I texted you guys back. I said I could watch 100 hours of this. And just the technique, the way they release the ball. The other thing I found amazing is they were talking to Aikman. They were talking to Drew Brees. They were talking to Tom Brady. Phillip Rivers Bernie made a little bit of a cameo in there. But it was amazing to look at all of those guys. And I used to be fascinated with this as a quarterback, how they all grip the ball different. Like Aikman, Aikman almost the palm of his hand was on the laces. And Jason Garrett goes, "Hey, those laces are there for a reason." Breeze had the his pointer finger almost over the top. Same thing with Phillip Rivers. And they talked about Phillip Rivers that when he was young, he used to do shot putting, and his dad used to force him to do shot putting. Did you see that? So that's why Rivers, essentially, if you watch Phillip Rivers, what a great quarterback. He was very efficient. He was very accurate. And he had a strong arm. But he essentially dropped back and he would push the ball like it was a shot put. It was crazy to watch. Yeah. I mean, it was very unorthodox and weird. I mean, listen, my idol Bernie Kosar was obviously weird with his sidearm delivery. But now you look at arm angles and the way that these quarterbacks, I mean, look at Phillip Rivers. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a freak of nature. That young man can go left. He can look right. He can turn his body to go back right and sidearm the ball to throw left to the sideline. I've seen him do it. And then he does the inverse of it where he's going right. He does it left. It's
How does he not blow out his elbow? It looks like his elbow should be blown out.
Yeah. Look at Stafford. Stafford's the same way. Stafford can bring his arm angle down, sidearm, and basically he can be parallel to the line of scrimmage and throw the ball sidearm and have the most zing on that ball that I've ever seen in my life.
I texted you guys this morning after I sent you guys that video after watching the Rams game. I mean, the first half of the game, most of Stafford's throws were all arm. He was like off balance on his back foot. It was incredible.
I find this video today from...
While you're doing that, I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to survive this season. They lost 13-6. There's no way Aaron Glenn survives. The Jets are the most pathetic team organization I've seen in a long time.
I'm looking for the Stafford video, the touchdown today that he threw.
By the way, while you're looking for that, guess the record of the Carolina Panthers right now with Bryce Young.
The Carolina Panthers? Oh, I don't even know. What?
4-3.
Oh, yeah.
The Carolina Panthers are 4-3 right now.
Yes, they are.
All right, watch this, boys. Look at Stafford. Look at this. Off his back foot. Looking the other way and throws it left. That's incredible. Now, here's a fade pattern. Now, that's the traditional fade. I wish what they need to do is look, watch this one. Look at that. Dude, this was cool. Dude, that's the one I was talking about.
What a
Look
catch,
at the catch, too, by Devontae Adams. That was incredible. But I'm going to go back to that real quick.
That's where Elite came from.
I got to watch this again. Hold on.
Wow.
Watch this fling by him. Dude, it excites the living daylights out of me.
Dude, it was a flick of the wrist. It wasn't even
that's exactly what it is. And that's
he has so much strength in his wrist.
So that's what they were talking about. If you really slow it down and you watch, if you watch Stafford make that pass right there, right? It's amazing how this technique of, now this is a crazy one here. That was basically a jump ball. But if you look at what Aaron Rodgers did and how he kind of started it, Jordan Love is emulating Aaron Rodgers now. But Stafford does the same thing. It's the hip check. It's the hip first, then your upper torso. And it's amazing. You wouldn't think that it does it, but I actually went outside yesterday and did a little bit. Uncle Rico.
So
it's you got to set up a video camera like Uncle Rico.
Listen, the UFP is going to have to get Mike Ward in his backyard. The old 50-year-old man trying to emulate what's going on in the NFL today.
I mean, if you look at Prescott and his warm-ups, he's always doing this. And dude,
that's exactly
it. Opening those hips.
Nothing against Prescott, but he's
a good. I like him, man.
Mahomes.
I like Dak Prescott. I do too. I think he's a class act. I really do.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you watch him, and people were making fun of him, but that's exactly what it is. It's hip, torso, torso. I know this is gonna be like my new dance.
I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah,
I gotta watch that video again. I told you I'm gonna watch it 100 times.
All right. So let's go over a couple more here.
Mark's doing the rundown this week. I like it.
Stay on track. Beat the Chargers 38-24. We joke about it every week. Colts. How are the Colts not one of the top teams in the NFL right now? Definitely in the AFC.
Well, they're a sleeper for sure.
Yeah. Let's see if our boy punted today or not. Let's see. Okay. Rigoberto Sanchez did have 2 punts today. Rigoberto. We're the official Rigoberto Sanchez.
Rigoberto Sanchez. Yes.
Yeah. We need to get him on here.
Eagles beat the Vikings 28-22. No surprise, honestly, there. You knew the Eagles were going to come back, but how about the Bears? 4 straight victories. Ben Johnson, 26-14. They're stacking wins right now.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I think I don't think anybody thought that they were going to start 0-3 like they did, or 0-2 and get manhandled by the Lions. But they, to their credit, I mean, again, they're playing New Orleans. I guess it's kind of the same way as along the Browns and the Dolphins, but he's got them somewhat in check. We'll see. Again, this was the Saints. It's not like they blew them out. It was 26-14 and they were at home. But yeah, we'll see. I think if you look at what Ben Johnson has been talking about from day one, he's said this is not going to be a quick process. This is not a open the door, plug and play. This is going to take time. If you look at, there goes my phone and all my stats for crying out loud.
While you're doing that,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, while you're looking for your phone again, let's just talk about the Thursday night game, Bengals and Steelers. That crazy ending to that game, and I want to add one. To me, I like Mike Tomlin. Number one, I think he's one of the best coaches. He's just a great players coach, great motivator, incredible with everything he does. And to be honest, with the quotes are even better. So here's his quote about Browns general manager Andrew Berry on Monday. To be honest, it was shocking to me, Tomlin told reporters. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make any sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think of enough to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings. I think he's pretty much saying everything that everyone was wondering.
Every Browns fan is.
Everybody in the NFL or everybody in the AFC.
Yeah. So we can berate and belittle the point till the cows come home. But I mean, again, it's just a matter of, So,
all right. So get this. So I texted Ann about Coach Franklin getting fired. She said, I hope the Steelers get rid of Tomlin. He is 0-8 on Thursday night versus AFC North. 2-10 overall. Not very good. We should have creamed the Bengals without Burrow.
He's never had a losing record.
Those were great points.
And Ann's fired up.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? They may have the top 2 wide receiver, the best 2 wide receiving core in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And all you need was just a decent quarterback in there, and you should be able to do something with those 2.
Man, Penix Jr. just made a heck of a throw down the sideline. Sorry. Watching the game and talking all at the same time.
3 last games to talk about. Cowboys beat the Commanders.
Beat up on
and not just beat up on them pretty good.
That Schottenheimer's kid's doing pretty good.
Yeah. Packers at the end come back and beat the Cardinals, and the same thing with the Broncos and the Giants. I thought both those 2 games are over, and sure enough, both those teams pooped the bed when it came down to it.
Jacoby Brissett filling in for the Cardinals. I did think that he was going to bring them back in the end, and actually Micah Parsons had, I believe, 4 sacks in that game. 3? Wow. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Micah Parsons had 3 sacks, 5 tackles. Yeah, he is a man to be reckoned with, to say the least. But the much maligned defensive line for Green Bay, at least the last couple of weeks, got to Jacoby Brissett and took them out of field goal range twice in that game that I was watching. And at the end, they put enough pressure on him where he could not bring them back. He was 25 of 36 for 279 and 2 touchdowns, Jacoby Brissett. He had a 110 rating, so that's really not that bad.
Yeah.
But so the Pack moves to 4-1-1. The Cardinals drop to 2-5. So now in the division, you got the Lions. Actually, no, the Packers, technically, even last week, based off of that tie, we're still in first place, which is weird to think about. What's worse, a tie in the NFL or kissing your sister?
Pretty much the same thing, but
yeah, that's a bad question.
All right, so Jimmy.
They say it's worse than kissing your sister.
Jimmy, you brought up getting in touch with Ann, and that brings me to one of the topics that we talked about last night, and one of those really interesting things you talk about: coaches' contracts. You talk about buyouts. You talk about this. You talk about We're still, I think they're still under Michigan State, still under litigation with Mel Tucker, if they're going to have to pay him or not, some other ones. But the James Franklin one is really interesting, what Penn State put into that contract.
Yep.
So right now they're on the hook to pay him $50 million, but they're not going to have to pay him $50 million because he can't just sit on his butt. Part of that contract, and I sent it, I'll put the article out for everybody too, was he has to do due diligence to find another job at either a coaching job or a broadcasting job. And they have to pay him typical salary. So they can't just go and Michigan State can't hire him from $1 a year. And so what it is whatever the pay he makes, because he's due $8 million a year, I think of what it is, or $7 million, let's just say for S&Gs
arguments.
If he makes $1 million a year, then Penn State's on the hook to pay him $7 million. If he makes $12 million for a year for coaching or doing something, then the Penn State doesn't owe him a dime.
Anything.
Right. So it's really unique how they structured that contract. And to be honest, that's kind of how, to me, you should structure a lot of those contracts, because how many guys, look at college football, how many guys would go to Alabama as volunteer assistant coaches, not get paid because they were getting paid $10 million, $50 million from a school that fired them?
Well, that's a great point, and that's very good work on your part to find that out, because now I'm going to actually look at a lot more contracts, because I'm curious, to your exact point right there, how many other contracts are structured that way, because it makes total sense. Exactly what you just said.
Right. Yeah, Texas A&M's last year was not set up that way with, what's his name? A brain fart right now, but last year's Penn State, Texas A&M fired. He was with Florida State, and I can't think of it right now. But you know I'm talking. We'll get the name here.
Talking about. Well, so here's the other thing too: is Franklin was on College Game Day yesterday, so you already know where he's going, at least temporarily.
He was getting the narrative. He was getting out there in front of the media to get the narrative to his side.
I thought his speech was really, really good, to say it the least.
Franklin's yesterday?
Yeah.
You mean on College Game Day?
How he responded? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, this is a performance-based job, period, end of story. He didn't get the job done. Granted, he went to the semifinal last year, but outside of that, he was, 2-40 or something like that against top 10 teams? So, but the guy's a human being. I mean, I give him credit. He comes down the tunnel after that game. He seeks out his family first, which I totally agree with and I totally understand. And to his credit, he talked about yesterday when he found out at 1:30 they were going to go and look at film at 1:45. The athletic director came in and said, "Hey, we're making a change." He said the first thing that he did was reach out to his family. Yeah. He called his kids to make sure that they didn't find out about it online first, and then he told his team. So, I mean, the guy's a class guy. He really is.
And he was looking out for his assistant coaches too. His assistant coaches as well.
Oh, he'll get a job. Yeah. I mean,
Michigan State.
If I was Michigan State, I would you'd be foolish not to go after him. The guy can recruit. He recruited out of Michigan, for crying out loud. He was pulling kids out of Michigan. So you bring him in, you pay him whatever the hell he wants. Yeah, I think they'd be foolish not to go after him. So
absolutely.
I mean,
because John Smith now is not doing anything. Jonathan Smith isn't doing anything.
That's not working. Nope.
No,
I mean,
absolutely not.
Granted, they go into Indiana. I mean, Indiana is a legitimate top 5 team in this country. Whoa,
Signetti
gone down
incredible.
To Jim's crotch level. Thank you. So much for that.
We need a blur that one.
Yeah. Well, thank God you weren't tubing.
There's nothing going on down there. Hold on.
So
there we go, Ward.
Boy, we got the yellow glasses going on.
Where's your
Holy cow?
Where are they at?
Well, you ask. I mean, I wasn't gonna necessarily.
It is Brown's Victory Sunday. It is a Brown's Victory Sunday.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Man alive.
A little slap in the ass and a crotch shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go over some of the top 10 here for college football. Miami goes down to Louisville.
Go down.
Nebraska loses to Minnesota. There's another big one. Ohio State took care of Wisconsin. That shocked me, 34-0. I can't see. I think Wisconsin is going to be done with what's his name? Luke
Fickell.
Fickell's going to be done. He hasn't done anything.
Severely underwhelming. I mean, Ohio State. Listen, Ohio State is a legitimate number 1 team in this country. Their defense is unbelievable under Matt Patricia. I mean, I did not see this coming. I thought when they lost,
dude, he's
name
a prime example of being a
Matt Patricia
coordinator. period.
Yeah. Well, it's a
Coordinator,
strength.
coach. Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin is 2-5 right now.
Yeah.
So
2-5 and with no I mean, they're
0-4 in the Big Ten. Yeah.
Fickle is he's done.
Lost to Michigan, lost to Maryland, to Iowa, Ohio State, and Alabama.
Yeah, so I think again, Ohio State is not necessarily something you want to gauge maybe firing a coach off of if you lose to Northwestern, which Penn State did after you lost to UCLA. Clearly, that's probably grounds for firing. Or if you're Mike McDaniel and you just got throttled by the Browns, that's another one. Or if you're Aaron Glenn and you're 0-for, that's probably another one too.
Yeah.
For the record, I say this every week, but my prediction was AG was going to be the first one to be let go in the NFL this year.
It could be a toss-up. It might be a matter of hours.
McDaniel's going to be done.
I could see both of them.
Yeah, the New York market is clearly very impatient. That is a very tough town. I mean, the Giants are clearly, I don't even know if I can say that. I was going to say there's more focus on the Giants, but I don't think so in football. It's not like the Yankees and the Mets. But I do think that Aaron Glenn has a very tough road ahead of him. That media there is not going to accept them digressing even further from where they were even the last few years. So, but it is the Jets. So, anyways, got me off on another tangent. Thank you.
Georgia took care of Ole Miss 43.
Yeah, well, that was a close game. That was all the way to the end.
Both are going to be 6-1 after that game. And I mean, obviously, when we talk about Ole Miss, there's definitely a Michigan connection with Trinidad Chambliss, quarterback for them, who was 19-36, 263 yards.
Where did he play at, Miller?
He went to, I'm looking it up right now. Was it Ferris State?
Ferris State.
So
okay, thank you.
He transferred from Ferris State, and
he
this kid
won the national championship 2 years ago, correct?
Yeah, and this kid from transferring has probably made himself about $50 million because he's going to be a first-day draft pick the way he's been playing all year. Incredible the way he's throwing the ball down the field. So Trinidad Chambliss doing well there. Not only that, 263 yards passing, but 42 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. So he was responsible for 3 of those touchdowns. Ole Miss-wise. Tennessee loses again. Alabama wins. Texas Tech loses to Arizona State. Oregon took care of Rutgers. And to me, my team of the year, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt takes care of LSU and another one of my coaches I cannot stand, Brian Kelly.
Come on.
We won't go off on that rant today. I can't stand Brian Kelly messed over Western 3 times. Once when he went to Central, then when he went to Cincinnati and decided to coach a game early against Western in the bowl game. I can't stand him.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, and I tell you what, Diego Pavia striking the Heisman pose in the end zone. That was, I don't even have any clue about the Heisman right now, but he's looking good. Georgia Tech won. Notre Dame came back, won that game against USC in the end, and
if Notre Dame loses that game, they're probably not making the playoff. So there's another one at home, backs against the wall, and USC came in hot too. So don't take anything away from Notre Dame with that victory, because that was an absolute must-win. Season is on the line. USC looks pretty good, continues to look pretty good. It's not like they played a bad game, but Notre Dame had to win that game for sure.
And the one we talked about again last night too, number 21 Texas. Texas still 5-2, but beat in overtime Kentucky 16-13. Arch Manning 12 of 27, 132, no touchdowns.
Dude,
QBR of 25.
He is feeling the pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
He is feeling the whole world coming down on his shoulders right now.
There's Peyton and Eli.
They're talking to him. They're trying to, but listen, the kid is he's folding under the pressure. You start losing a couple of games, you start having a few bad games, and unfortunately,
that's
a young man
against him.
Well, he's listening to all the outside noise. That is very apparent. That kid's got a lot of talent. He can be a good quarterback, but he's going to have to get back on track.
But it's all about just growing up and
And gentlemen, we have one more thing here before we end our college football talk. Are you guys familiar with the powerhouses that are Curry College and Nichols College?
Oh yeah, very.
Okay.
No, whatever.
Right. You guys aren't big Division III football followers?
Probably should be. Probably have opportunities for.
So we're going to announce today our UFP Player of the Week is Monty Quinn from Curry College.
Excellent.
So Curry defeated Curry didn't. Quinn had taken down the NCAA record for all divisions. He rushed 20 carries for 522 yards. 20 carries, 522 yards, and 7 tutties. 7 touchdowns.
It's pretty impressive.
It is. 5 of Quinn's touchdowns were on runs of over 50 yards, with 2 topping 80 yards in the second half. So obviously the coaches kept him in here just feeding him the ball, which he's running the ball. They're not passing. So what are you gonna do? You got to stop the guy. It's not their job to turn off the gas. It's the other team's job to tackle the guy when he gets the ball. So the previous record was Division III record of 465 yards set by Heidelberg's Cartel Brooks in 2013. The FBS record, and I know this is a household name for you guys, for rushing yards in a game is 427 by an Oklahoma running back in 2014.
By the name of Barry Sanders.
Samaji Perrine. I have no clue. 2014. How did we not?
What?
Samaji Perrine, everybody. Of course, Jim, you remember him.
Right.
Yeah.
So Monty Quinn of Curry College want to congratulate you. You are
so Monty
the unfunniest podcast player of the week.
Player of the week.
I think you need to rename your name to Manny Quinn.
There you go.
Guns a-blazing there, buddy. Woo! Monty Quinn. Yeah.
Crazy there.
Spectacular job.
Let's talk about people being on fire and things going crazy. Mike, Detroit Red Wings.
Yes. Let's go, Red Wings.
Forget April in the D. This October in the D is much better. We got all of our 4 teams playing and incredible. I will be honest. I talked to Kathy and I think I'd mentioned to you guys too. After they got blown out in the first game by Montreal, and in the second game they go down 2-0. And I look at I think I turned to whoever it was and I said, this season's over. It was only one game and half a period into it. I'm like, I don't even want to watch any more hockey. This is sickening the way they're going down. And sure enough, they come back and they win, and they rattle off 5 straight wins. Incredible what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's early in the season, but I would certainly rather be 5-1 than 1-5 or 0-6. And to your point, that first game, I did not watch it. I haven't watched a single game yet, but I was very frustrated. I was thinking to myself, "Oh, this is not good. This does not look good. The Stevie seat is beyond hot. I mean, red hot." And then to your point again, go down 2-0 in that second game and then come back and reel off 5 impressive wins. And it's not like they're beating slubs. They beat the defending Stanley Cup champions. They have beat the Maple Leafs twice. They beat They beat the Edmonton Oilers today. I mean, listen, what they're doing is very impressive. Again, we're only 6 games in, and you could argue that some of these top-tier teams from last year just haven't got into their rhythm and roll just yet. However, this is absolutely a building block. I think that they absolutely can continue to build on this. I think this will generate some excitement. This is going to fill the LCA. I mean, there's stories of tickets are not selling. As a matter of fact, our friend UFP's family friend of Chris Hammond and I talked about this today, that he was actually being reached out by the Red Wings for some season tickets because long story what we did with the Tigers.
He bought tickets years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I told him, I said, I don't know. They keep this winning up, and that ticket to LCA is going to be a little tougher to get. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Listen, all right, I'm going to ask again, if anyone from the Detroit Red Wings organization and or the Illich Group is listening, can we please stop with the absolute awfulest, the worst goal song, the worst goal song in the history of man.
I agree.
Whatever the hell. The Red Wings score a goal. It's definitely an LCA, and all you hear is da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. I'm like, what? It's not supposed to be a downer. It's supposed to be like the old dude. I know now I'm singing again, but what? Why? Who thought that is a good goal song? Now, some people are going to rip on.
Be awesome, especially at the Joe.
It's still good, but that is not a goal song. Like if you're at the LCA and you're going crazy over a goal, especially like an overtime goal, and they start playing that song, it's like what am I listening to? So
it's not even like it's supposed to be hype. Like,
yeah,
when you score
that song,
score,
the remix version of that, I actually use in some of the high school games when I'm doing, but it's halfway through it and it's ridiculously upbeat and it's a BA song. But the beginning of that song, it's awful. So there you go. Time for a new goal song. And of course, everybody's going to say, well, what would you play instead? Well, funny you should ask. I'll come up with something.
Okay, well, and don't play it 2 years in a row.
Exactly. Well, they used to play the whole Hockey Town song, but that was cool. But again, that was kind of like, hey, they just scored.
That's all right. There you go. There's a song. It's 100 years. So, hey, Hockey Town. They put it back on center ice.
So a couple things I want to point out. You got right now with the Red Wings, finally, because how many years have we gone through, even with the Iser plan and everybody before him, you wouldn't play any rookies, no rookies. You got 3 rookies. What's that?
I don't want to talk about it.
You got 3 rookies playing right now. You got Emmett Finney, you got Axel Sandin Palika, and then you got Michael Brandsig.
Finney scored his first goal today.
Right. And so leading scorers on the team, Larkin's got 11 points. He's got 5 goals, 6 assists. You got DeBrincat with 6 assists. And then you got Patrick Kane, 2 and 3 for 5 points. And then you got Finney, who's got 5 points as well. So one of your rookies heading up there too. So, and Finney, if I'm not mistaken, had 2 goals today. So with those things and with everything you're looking at, to have 3 rookies up there, that gives me a little bit more positivity when it comes to the Wings, that you're not just seeing retreads, you're not just seeing guys. And by the way, I mean, I love Dan Petrie, but his son was nothing when he came to the Wings. And now when he was new pylon cone for Florida, I guess, the other day when they played the Wings, because he was defensive liability against the Wings. They finally got something back for Petrie. At least they got a couple goals from that.
It's funny when you read the stat line right now. Team leaders: points, Dylan Larkin 11; goals, Dylan Larkin 5; assists, Dylan Larkin 6; penalty minutes, Dylan Larkin 6; plus minus, Dylan Larkin +9.
Gordie Howe.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. I mean, is Raymond's practicing, but he's still out, right?
Yeah. He's doing better.
So it doesn't last too long, but yeah.
So I mean, that's interesting to see. I'm happy to see that.
Of a little bit of concern is Alex DeBrincat does not have a goal yet. He's got 6 assists, but he'll turn it on. He better turn it on. He needs to turn it on.
I would be more worried if they didn't have any wins and they had 1 or 2 wins. But to see that he's got 6 assists.
He's got 6 assists. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I mean, that's incredible there. Let's talk a little bit about, now we're getting into this overlap of college. Basketball is now starting. And I'm going to post some pictures online. And I sent these pictures to you, but we'll post them. But I was at Oakland University the other day, and their new practice facility that they just built, or renovated, I should say, with an additional building off of campus. But to see that this beautiful court, beautiful open court that they've got, open lighting, this big, huge windows on the one side of it is incredible to see. It's great to see. And I think it's going to set Oakland apart from a lot of the schools, because in the mid-majors and anywhere else, and even let's just say a lot of the bigger schools, teams don't have their own practice facilities. They don't have them. They're usually sharing arenas. They're sharing practice time with everyone else. And so to see Oakland set themselves apart when it comes to that, I think it's pretty incredible. And the money that they spent and what they're putting into this program, I'm hoping to see it pay some dividends and get some more from what they mentioned at the press conference. By the way, the ribbon cutting, the trustees and everyone else, the trustees really want to turn this into the Gonzaga of the Midwest. They want to take the mid-major program, and they want to really do what they can to try to keep everything coming.
All right. Pretty cool. It looked awesome from those pictures you sent.
Yeah. To that effect, though, I still think they needed to build that arena bigger. That arena is too small.
The arena?
Yeah. It's just so dark in there,
though.
It does.
Dude, it gets pretty loud in that place.
Yeah. Looking forward to getting some more things there. We're going to talk about a few other things here in the upcoming weeks. We're going to try to have some guests on as well. NBA is starting, and I can say this is the first time in how many years that I'm pretty darn excited to have the NBA starting, because what the Pistons are going to bring. Yeah. We were excited last year against the Knicks, and you saw what the Knicks did and everything else there. And I think that was pretty exciting. So we're excited there. And I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Tigers, because the last time we were on, they were still in the playoffs, still going against the Mariners. Go to Game 5 and to go 15 innings. You talk about living and dying on every pitch. How many times in extra innings did they get 2 or 3 men on with no outs? And you're sitting there, and they came back and a stat. I'm just going to throw this one stat out there. We talk about and whether or not we're going to have Skubal long term, whether or not you're going to give Skubal that money, whether you're going to do.
No way.
In the Mariners series, Skubal was 0-2 basically in the games he pitched, and the Tigers were 2-1 in the games that he didn't pitch.
Well, it's not just that. Obviously he's a phenomenal pitcher. He pulled himself out of that game. He pulled himself out of game 5. Yeah, he was done. Now, I give you
Unacceptable.
I give you Max Scherzer. I give you Max Scherzer. Yes. Complete contrarian to the situation with Skubal. They tried to pull him out, and you can read his lips. We're not going to repeat it. And they left him in. He struck out the next batter. And, oh, man, you want to talk about raw emotion.
It was one of the coolest things I've seen live.
Yeah. I had a newfound respect for Max Scherzer.
Yep.
So, you look at some of the
eyes, scared the shit out of the manager. Oh, I'm sorry. And sent him back to the dugout.
Well, but okay.
Was awesome.
Let's take it back though. As an athlete, you know what you have left in your tank. You know what you've got there. And
he was pitching 100 miles an hour.
He threw 101.
But Skubal said he didn't have anything else.
What?
And you got to take your pitchers.
All right.
5th inning.
You know what? I'm going to use a P word.
I know you're not argument's sake.
That's a P word.
Yeah, step up. But they didn't lose because they didn't lose because of Skubal. No, they lost because they can't hit the damn ball. They need to go up.
Yeah, but look at, we need to get some hitters. But I tell you what, one of the positives is that pitching staff in the 8 games that they played. That pitching staff did pretty darn well overall, except for let's just say 2 games out of it. The 1 game against Cleveland, that game 2 against Cleveland, and game 2 or 3 against
game
the
3
Mariners.
Against the Mariners.
Yeah, when they exploded in that 1 inning. Outside of that, they gave up maybe 15 runs in those 6 games.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
I'll tell you what, if Skubal won another inning or 2, I bet you they would have won that game.
Well, again, it's hard to say that though, because they weren't hitting the ball.
Yeah.
I don't runners understand if he's throwing 101 and he said he was done. I don't understand that logic.
Like Mark said, as an athlete, when you're done. It's a little bit questionable, but at the same time,
did he get hurt?
Well, look at what you hear about Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres was playing with a hernia that he had to have surgery basically the week the season was over. He was one of their best players in the playoffs.
Those are no fun.
And imagine playing and hitting and fielding with a hernia the way he had to come back. You always see that in the playoffs. You see it in every sport where it's like this guy had this guy had that. Baez,
Again, I don't mean to criticize the guy. If he's done, he's done. I understand.
So just a quick thought on the Tigers and the organization, what they did, what they didn't do. There was some bantering back and forth about this week, but I do give Scott Harris credit in his end of the season post. That
was a great
press
speech.
Conference. Yeah, you want to talk about an executive of an organization that took. I don't want to say blame, but he accepted a little bit of the responsibility for not making moves at the trade deadline. But to his credit, he said, listen, we were a top 8 offense through August 31st. Top 8. So at that point, at the deadline, to his credit, so you're a top 8 offense in the league. Why do you necessarily even have to, why would you want, and this is what they don't want to do. They don't want to sacrifice the farm system. They don't want to sacrifice the youth and the prospects. So to his credit, he said, top 8, we thought we were good, felt we were positioned well going into the playoffs. Starting in September, they went from a top 8 to a bottom 8, essentially. It flipped right upside down. So what happened? And so what he said is we need to figure out, and so did AJ Hinch, we need to figure out what happened. What happened that we went from top 8 to bottom 8? That's step number 1. And what Scott Harris said, we will address this. We're not just gonna run this back. AJ Hinch said the same thing. This ain't running it back. We're gonna find position players. We're gonna find bats. We are going to be a better offensive team next year. So I think, listen, the future is very, very, very bright for the Detroit Tigers. That is an absolute fact. This
Best
is
farm system.
Yeah, well, they keep saying that, but this isn't bowing out in the division game 5 again for the second year in a row, and this is it. Their windows, it's not like you can say their window's closing. I would argue their window is still completely. It's not even hardly opened yet. So the future is very bright.
That's with or without Scooble, and honestly, in a lot of cases.
Listen, you cannot pay Scooble. They're almost $300 million apart right now. There's no scenario. Love you.
Yeah, it was
great pitcher. No way do you pay, and he wanted a 10-year contract. Are you kidding me? You're going to pay him money to when he's pitching when he's 40? If he's got 2 seasons left. Mark my words. He's got 2 seasons left.
What's his name? Boris?
Yeah.
Boris is only your
2
agent
seasons
for
left.
one thing.
That's
Get
it.
Free agency.
Dude,
run it back with him next year, and you're. I'm sorry, you don't pay him. You just don't.
The guy acts like a lawyer.
Scott Boris.
Well, Scooble is only, again, Scooble, you only get Boris for one reason. You're not getting Boris to re-up with your current team because Boris doesn't do that. Boris is going to go out there and he's going to try to get the most money he can for himself and everyone else. Yeah, there's no hometown discount with Boris. But you're looking at the game right now, it looks like we're going to go to game 7. Right now, Toronto's up 5-2 in the bottom of the top of the 7th inning. Talk about a series. Just the first 2 games, no one was going to beat the Mariners. They were going to sweep them. The next 2 games, how are they even staying in the same ballpark as the Mariners? The Blue Jays are just going to go crazy. Then that crazy game 5. We're going to game 6, and now you're going to go to looks like you're going to go to game 7, which that's incredible. But you go to me, it's the same thing that happened to the Tigers a number of years ago.
Nobody's beating the Dodgers, anyways.
Are the Dodgers going to have what happened with the Tigers against the Cardinals, where you had a week and a half
of a layoff?
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly a possibility. But I mean, did you watch? We probably watched one of the single greatest
baseball players ever.
Yes, the other night with his 3 home runs. I mean, and he's just one of those guys that you want to root for. He's just a cool kid, man. I mean, his raw talent is mind-boggling. It's incredible. That second home run would clear the damn stadium. It was nuts. So, yeah, I mean, Shohei, show me, show the world, Shohei.
Show the world. Somebody's crazy. Everything when it comes to that. Lord only knows what you're going to see because
serious adrenaline right there.
I think we're going to have to go into this
awkward
if it ever goes through.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Mike's Rant of the Week. And now, here is Mike with his rant.
It's been 2 weeks.
So I'm going to make this short because we're running out of time and I'm getting very tired on a Sunday night. But so I was going to do something different, but then I thought to myself, let's address what Mark talked about earlier when we. So first of all, I would like to thank the individuals that certainly are watching, listening, participating, and commenting on the UFP's broadcast and having certain things to say about us and how spectacular we are. So we can't thank you enough for your support. One, your absolutely corrective and criticism constructive criticism, as they like to say. So we here at the UFP like to take said constructive criticism and we put it into our show prep. And we put it into our weekly thoughts about how we're going to make the UFP better. So when you send over such lovely statements, you only motivate us even more because we know that you are supporting us and you're actually helping us to branch out even further. So those constructive criticisms that you bestow upon us, hey, listen, you know what else I really am thankful for is you got out of mom and dad's basement.
Hey,
and
I was going to ask you, where am I right now?
I mean, you took time away from video games. You actually listened and watched the UFP. Again, we can't thank you enough for that.
Thank you.
And to actually go a separate step and actually start ripping on some of our physique, now that is spectacular. Because I got to tell you, it actually motivated me to get on the treadmill again this week. So I got on the treadmill and I kept thinking to myself, hey, those fans of the UFP and how they're giving us that constructive criticism, and it's going to motivate us even more. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time out, actually going online, watching us, liking us. Well, I don't know if you liked us or not, and actually spending the time to put some comments in the field about the UFP. So again, from the bottom of our hearts, we cannot thank you enough for participating in the UFP. So please continue to watch us.
Update your code name other than.
Well, we're not going to address the detractors directly. We're just going to. This is just a generalization of thanking those individuals that are commenting on us, and I actually would welcome even more of that constructive criticism, because it motivates us and it makes us think to ourselves, hey, at least 2 people are listening to us, to reach out and at least say something. So whether it's positive or negative, we're going to take that and we're going to turn it into a positive.
Yeah. As Reggie Jackson said,
that's the anti-rant this week.
As Reggie Jackson once said, they don't boo nobodies.
I loved what you said about that. That's right. They don't boo nobodies. So thanks again, everybody. So for all the rest of you out there that actually also spend time watching us and listening to us, please follow, do whatever you can to promote the UFP, just like Jim has with these awesome quarter zips. Thank you again, James.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're going to stay on mine. So, all right. We say it every week.
Let me know who I look like this week.
Yeah. Who I have to say, that was really, it was creative. It wasn't just like, you could have just thrown it out there and said, you're Prince Harry, whatever you want to say, or something like that. But
because that's what we usually get.
That was pretty, and it was pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty darn good.
That's what I mean. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you.
We'll take every constructive criticism and we take it to heart. And we make sure we look at it. But this week, I got nothing. I'm Jimmy this week. I got nothing.
I had a lot last week, but
I have to go.
Inventory. Yeah, you had inventory, Jim. That was big.
I have to take the exploder down to Lakeland Auto and Marine tomorrow for them to do some surgery on the alternator, apparently, because it's a little intermittent. So to our favorite friend of the UFP, Chris Hammond, he's gonna try to fit me in on an emergency situation, because of course my Lifeline is my vehicle for my job, so I have to have it running properly. And then I'll be at the Catholic High School League Prep Bowl on Saturday at Ford Field. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. I will be, take that back. I will be at Oakland University girls women's soccer as they play on Saturday. I will be announcing that game as well. So Saturday we got big. I'm just hoping that it's not going to be raining. And I have for our we'll talk about this later. We're going to try to bring on some of those guys later. This group that I'm working with, sportscaster.com, where they're really bringing sportscasting to the schools, where each week through WJR, they're doing games of the week, broadcasting on the radio, and we're simulcasting it on YouTube, where we're having individual students from each of the schools that are there, and they're doing the color commentary. We also have students doing the pregame, halftime, and postgame conferences. We have the players come over afterwards, and incredible what they're doing. And they really want to expand this to more of the schools, more of the high schools, even middle schools, colleges, getting students involved, having that phone in your hand. There's an app that makes it very simple to be able to do, and making sure they do that. So our last game of the year we're going to be doing is Friday at Ann Arbor Pioneer High School. And we've had great weather all year, which means it's probably going to be pouring rain on Friday. So always comes out that. You're in luck, Miller. It looks like it's going to be nice.
Awesome. Good to hear that. But
mid-50s.
We want to say thank you again. Obviously, we talked about Mike's rant, but anything, you guys, we really appreciate you guys following us, liking us, being a part of everything. Coming into the holidays, we know that you guys want your UFP gear. We're going to do some T-shirts. We're going to do some things there. Have some things for you guys. Quarter Zips will be hopefully announcing that here soon, and have an online shop and some other ways you guys get some merchandise. But we say it all the time. Thank you. Like us, share us, all the different platforms. We've got it all there, but we want to make sure you guys are listening to us.
Yep. Yes.
All right. Last word, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great.
That's it. Thanks again. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Beep beep.
All right.
All right. Great week. Thank you guys so much. We hope you guys enjoyed the show, and tell all your friends. Take care, everyone.
Bye.